it's Janelle here with a new video, and if you're wondering why you're angled in a very awkward way, is because I'm on my bed and my stand is not here. So yeah, so today I'm gonna be doing an experience of the last day of school, aka the last day of 8th grade, like it says on the title. So yeah, all my social links are gonna be down below. So follow me, add me on there, and let's get on to this video. So in this video, I'm going to be doing code names or subject references because I don't want to put their names out there in the internet. So yeah. So in the morning, I remember I had to give presents to my 4 friends. 3 of them are boys, 1 of them is a girl. And let's just call them Luke, Michael, Ashton, and Callum. Callum is the girl, so I'm going to refer as Callum as a her, even though Callum's a boy in real life. But then in here, Callum's a girl, because, yeah. So I gave Michael his letter along with Callum's letter, and I said, Michael, this is your letter. I pointed at his letter, and then this is Callum's letter. If you see him in the library, you can give this to him, and then give this to her. And then Michael's like, yeah, sure. And then with Lashton's letters, I gave them it personally because they were in my building. Callum wasn't because she was in another advisory. So I gave Lashton theirs, and when I gave Lashton theirs, Luke was like, oh, I'm going to read your letter. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. And then he read his letter, and then I asked him, can you read it? And then he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then Ashton said, I'm not going to read your letter yet because I have a feeling I'm going to cry. And I'm like, yeah, you probably might. And then he's like, okay, I'm not going to read it right now. So I'm like, okay. So, the bell rang for morning advisory. I stayed there for like a good 5 minutes, and then I went to my regular advisory. In my regular advisory, we just talked about the bell schedule, like what classes we're having, what other things we're going to do in a day. So the only classes we had were 5 and 6. For me, my 5 and 6 is my elective and my core class. And my elective for 5th period was chorus. And my core class for 6th period was English. So, yeah. 5th period, I enjoyed my last day of chorus because I knew I'm not going to be a repeat of an 8th grader next year. So, I enjoyed my last day of chorus at that time. After 5th period was recess, I gave all my teachers their present from me. They enjoyed it. When I gave my science teacher her present, she gave me a message about myself. She told me I was one of her star students and that she'll never forget about me because I was like the kind-hearted person in her class, and that I was special. And during that time, I cried when she was talking about it. And yeah, all of a sudden, Ashton came in and said, "Oh, I read your letter." And I'm like, "Did you cry?" And then he was like, "I was about to cry." And I'm like, "Oh." And then I fist pumped him. And then after recess, I had to go back to period 6. So I went out of the library where the field day, where everyone was, my house was in there because my school has 4 houses: House B, House A, House C, and House Ikea, aka House D. So on the last day, which is today, House B had their field day. I didn't want to go because I honestly enjoyed my last day of course. So yeah. So when it's sixth period, I went to my math teacher's class because that's where all the other House B teachers' classes were supposed to be. So at there, we played the Wii in math class because she brought her Wii. My math teacher brought her Wii. She was so kind to get have us play with her Wii for the last week of school because that was our reward for working hard. She did that last year in 7th grade too, so yeah. After sixth period was advisory, and during advisory, I had my AVID/advisory party with my advisory people and my AVID people. Just to let you know, my advisory and AVID people are the same people with other people added in my AVID class, because they're not in my advisory for some reason, two different reasons actually. So yeah, during that, okay, after that advisory we had lunch, and then after that, and then after lunch we had advisory again. So during those advisory lunch, advisory time, we had our party still. That party, I usually wasn't there because lunch I was in my social studies class talking to my social studies teacher and my friend. Let's call her Alexis. So I was talking to my teacher and my friend Alexis. The advisory after lunch, I was mostly in my English teacher class, and I was talking to Ashton, Luke, and John while they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So going back to the lunch thing, my friend Alexis said in front of my social studies teacher and I heard about that Luke and Arzelia thing, because Luke's dating Arzelia in real life. And then, so back to what Alexa says. She said, I heard about that Luke and Arzelia thing. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with it. And then my social studies teacher's like, wait, what happened with Arzelia and Luke? And then I said, they started going out since yesterday. And then my social studies teacher was like, who liked who first? And then I'm like, Arzelia liked Luke first because she liked him ever since the first day he came. And up until now. And Luke liked another girl while Arzelia liked Luke. Let's call that girl Alicia. I feel so bad right now. I'm including Luke Hemmings, his ex-girlfriend, and his current girlfriend, but then I'm using it in my story for code names. So Luke liked Alicia when Arzelia liked Luke. So yeah, but after Luke liked Alicia, he stopped liking her. He liked Arzelia, and then yesterday Luke asked Arzelia out. So yeah. Just to say this, I have a crush on Luke. No, not Luke Hemmings, the Luke code name for my best friend. One of my three best friends. One of the three best friends of my three best friends. Oh my gosh. And my crush. So yeah. If you are my friend and you're watching this, that you go to my school and stuff, and you want to know who Luke, Ashton, Michael, and Calamar, Arzelia, Alicia, and Alexis, and all the other names I include in this, then you can message me about it. So, yeah. Ignore the sound, please. So, during lunch, after that happened, we just talked for a little while. My social studies teacher and my friend Alexis and I talked for a little while because it was the last day of school. And after that, I went to my English teacher to talk to Luke, John, and Ashton while they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And when I was watching them play Yu-Gi-Oh, my friend, let's call her, what should we call it? Let's call her Jewelry. So Jewelry came and she's like, how do you play this? And I'm like, oh, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! So basically you have to defend and attack your opponent without using as much life points. So basically defending you is basically like sports, so offense and defense, but it's in a card game. And then I'm like, how can you understand? She's like, how can you understand this? And I'm like, because I know how to play. And then she's like, oh, okay. So while Luke, Ashton, and John were playing, another person played. I forgot his name, but he played, and basically they all Luke. No, Luke. Yeah, Luke was out for the Yu-Gi-Oh duel between all four of them twice, cause I know 3 times, cause they were all attacking him for some reason. Well, except for John. John wasn't attacking him. Only Ashton and the other kid's name. Excuse me. So yeah. So after their duel, all four of them duel, Jewelry said, oh, what if, oh, let's have another duel, but with a spin, you are challenging a girl. And then she pointed at me, and I'm like, wait, right now? And he's like, yes, right now. And I'm like, I don't, and then I'm like, I don't have my deck. And then John and Ashton were like, yeah, she doesn't have her deck. And then Jewelry was like, what? You have to have your own deck to play? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, what? This is a higher level of card games. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So after that advisory, me and Jewelry stayed there until we had to go back to our advisory. So when we went back to our advisory, we just hanged out more with continued the party until we had to go to the dance. In that dance, I cried a lot because it was the last day of school. And Luke was looking for Azalea at the time. And every 5 minutes, he asked, oh, have you seen Azalea? And then I'm like, dude, stop it. And then he just stopped. And while he was saying that, in my head, I'm like, did she ditch him? And since I am his one of his best friends, out of the 4 of my friends, Luke, Ashton, John, and I'm the mother of the group, because, yeah. So, I was looking out for them, and going back to the dance, I was thinking she did ditch him. Azalea ditched Luke, and I felt bad, so I cried. During that time, I hugged a lot of people. I hugged Ashton, and I hugged Luke. While I was hugging Luke, I said, just in case in the high school, and I don't get to see you that often, and I don't get to hug you, here's a hug. So I hugged him. After that hug, I cried, and then Ashton asked, oh, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna miss you, Luke, and John. And then he said, it's gonna be okay. And I hugged my teachers too before I hugged my friends. After the dance, I had to go home, but before I got home, I wanted to get one last hug with Luke and Ashton. So I didn't get a hug from Luke again, but I did get a high five from Ashton, and that's okay. And then I went home. During that time of the whole school day, I was wondering, wow, this is the last day. This is the last day I'm ever going to hang out with Luke, John, and Ashton. If you guys follow my Snapchat, link it down below, you guys should know who Luke, Ashton, and John is, because they were in the Snapchat. And let me tell you this. Ashton is moving to Japan. Luke is moving back to Australia in December. Yes, in real life, my Luke is Australian. And Ashton is moving to Japan around the summer. And like I said, Luke is moving to Australia again in December. So Luke is going to high school with me and John, but he's only staying for 1 semester. While Ashton is not going to the high school with us. He's going to Japan and having high school there. And during when I realized that 2 of my best friends are gonna be moving, I felt sad. And I already knew John is not gonna be there most of the time with me because he has another pathway. I have another pathway in high school. So it was pretty sad. And knowing that during advisory when I watched them play Yu-Gi-Oh, that would be the last thing I would see all of my boys together do. It was so hard to accept that it was gonna be the last Yu-Gi-Oh duel with all 3 of them. But also, I was kind of happy because we're all moving up to high school, even though 2 of us are moving. I just want to end this video with, when school is ending and you're graduating or you're moving up to another school and you're knowing that your friends are not going to be there, just know that it's not going to be a goodbye. You're going to see them in the future. And yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a comment. Please contact me if you are my friend and you want to know the code names. So yeah, bye guys.